Hi guys, it's April and it is Sunday. It's live streaming time. That's why you guys are here. I don't know why I'm explaining that. I'm not sure how far I'm going to get with this picture today, but we are going to try to get as close to finished as we can. We don't have a ton left. There's a lot of tedious work with the background, but otherwise we just got things like the stem of the pumpkin, we've got the seeds, and then we've got all of the inside filling of the pumpkin left to do. So what I really want to do, instead of jumping back into the background and carrying on, I want to finish the rest of the pumpkin. So I want to get in, I want to start at the top, I want to start with that stem, I want to get that stem done, and then slowly work my way down and get the rest of the pumpkin done. Just because that's where I'm at right now. So for the stem and the pumpkin seeds, I'm going to use the same sets of colors, just kind of in different ratios. And so that is my Holbein Sand 175, my Poly Terracotta, which is 186, and then my Poly Raw Umber, which is 180. So those are the ones I'm thinking about using for all this. We'll see how they start to lay down, but I think I'm going to get the look I'm going for with those. So with the seeds, I'm probably going to lean more towards the sand color. And then for the stem, it's probably going to be more of this terracotta, or this raw umber with that terracotta thrown in there to really beef things up. And I will have to go through and fix some of the outside of where I didn't quite get the paint close enough to the picture. Okay, let's get some of the raw umber in there. I'm gonna have to use some of the black. I think I'm gonna use the lamp black, which is the Holbein 511. Just kind of give this a little bit of shape. So I don't have like any sunlight today. It feels like winter out here. So I've got the studio lights on. The only unfortunate bit about the studio lights is they make these colored pencils so stinking reflective. I don't want it to be too yellowy. Something kind of like that. So then I get to come in here and find those pumpkin seeds. Probably gonna go around some of these with black that got painted over. So we have some of the same definition. Okay, so here instead of the lamp black, I'm going to use the actual black. Hi, Dee Dee. Bring some of those back. And it looks kind of stark right now, but I will add a little bit of shading to those seeds so that they're not like quite so in your face. Okay. I'm gonna go in with the lamp black. Just add a little bit shading. Put these down. I'm gonna come back with the sand. Try and might have to add a little bit of sketchiness to those seeds so that they feel a little more uniform. I do want to add a little bit, I think, of the raw umber. Just to give it a little bit of that yellowy tinge. Okay, I want to sharpen the lamp black real quick so I have more of a, if I can get the pencil sharpener open. So I have more of a point to deal with some of this. Miss these. Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of lightly go in a spiral around some of these so that they feel a little looser, like the rest of the image. I think I'm gonna go and I'm going to kind of sharpen up the edge of the pumpkin to the background, because it kind of got a little muted because it got covered up with paint a little bit. Kind of like what I did with the cattail and around the cat is I added some of that fur back in. Kind of doing the same thing with the pumpkin. Giving some of that definition back to it. And it's one of those things that you only really notice when you're right on top of the picture. Okay. I'm going to draw some of these back in since I'm down here. Because I didn't think I needed to be very careful with the paint since I can go back in and color over top of it. And so far it's working out pretty well. I like how that's looking. But in this pile down here at the bottom, I'm gonna have to decide what is pumpkin and what is seed. Because we've got large chunks of pumpkin that we're dealing with as well. I'm gonna go in and hit everything I think is seed with the sand. Gonna have to sharpen this pencil again too. welcome. Okay. Let's see. So I've got, I might go back over some of the stuff on the paint to try and really lighten that up. But otherwise, I think we've got most of that covered. So I'm going to hit some of it with the raw umber and kind of give some of the seeds a little bit of depth. I'll probably go through with one of the grays as well, and the stuff that's like underneath the pumpkin, give it some shadow. Hold on, I'll be just a sec. Okay. Okay. Kind of doing it sketchy like. Which is pretty much the only way you could handle these because the drawing is so loose. Okay, I'm gonna leave the seeds like that real quick. I'm gonna color in the pumpkin pieces around it, and then I'm gonna start adding some of the shading with all the pieces all together. So for the pumpkin, I had used the Holbein Orange 48, the Holbein Tiger Lily 47, the Poly Light Cadmium Red 117, and then the Holbein Scarlet 44. So I'm going to start with the lightest, which is the orange, and put a light base around everything. and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna hit with the tiger lily. Start to really darken up some of the places. Now I'm going to make sure that the meat and the outside of the pumpkin are slightly different shades, because the inside of the pumpkin isn't necessarily the same as the outside. Got a slightly different color there when you crack open a pumpkin. Okay, so then I am going to use the cadmium red, which is 117. And then I've got the Scarlet 44. Just gonna really add some of those red tones. Come back through with the cadmium red. Just kind of darken a few pieces. Okay, so for the meat of the pumpkin, I use, of course, that orange base that I did. Touch it with just a little bit of sand, very lightly. And come back in with that terracotta, which is 186. then I'm going to hit it with the raw umber, which is 180. And then I'm going to come back with, I think I'm going to hit it with a little bit of the tiger lily. Just lightly. Hit some of this with it. And then come back with that sand color again. I'm going to use the orange and just kind of add a little bit of orange to this seed pile, just because there would be a little bit of that meat mixed in with those seeds. Okay, so now I'm going to start probably with the Cool Gray 6, which is the 536. And I'm going to start shading everything. And then I'm going to grab the lamp black. Chair is extra squeaky today. Okay, I'm gonna pull up black now. So now it doesn't quite look like it's floating because give it back a little bit of that shadow base. Go in here and hit some of these bigger areas. Just so that this pile of seeds doesn't look too flat. Okay, I think I'm gonna go back through. So there's some parts that are a little too bright for my liking, so I'm going to hit them with some sand. Darken some of these outlines with the black. Since I used the lamp black last time when I first drew them in. We go. Hit it with a little bit of orange. I think I actually even want to add just a touch of scarlet as well. If I can not keep flinging my pencil around. Don't want to hit it with too much though. So I'm going to go back with that orange. Blend some of that scarlet in. Then we can go back with that raw umber. Because I want the color there, but I don't want it to be too vibrant. And then we come back with the sand. There we go. So I think I can safely move back to trying to finish off all of those pumpkins. Which I think is probably gonna it's gonna take me a little while. Okay, so for the pumpkins, at least the background pumpkins. I've got the peacock green in the Holbein, which is $2.48. I have the cobalt green Polychromos, $1.56. And then the Holbein Sky Mist, $3.71. And I do use the Cool Gray 6, $5.36. Of course, a little bit of the black and the lamp black as well for shadowing and shading. But I start out with the peacock. If I can keep all of the pencils from rolling off the desk, that would be great. Okay, the real question is, where do I want to start? Probably, as you can see, I kind of missed a little bit in the edge there. But that's okay. You can only see it when you really force it down. Actually, I'm going to start with the black and getting those eyes and mouth marked in. I think don't know what it is today, but pencils don't want to stay on the desk. Okay. Now we can come back with the peacock. Hey, Shay. And then I got the cobalt green. She'll hit more of the middle part with. And then I will come back with the Sky Mist. The very middle parts, the parts that I want to be the lightest. And then I will come back with that black. Seriously, pencils do not want to stay on the desk. I need to be lighter handed than that. So one drawback of kind of doing all of this on different days, sometimes you don't quite have the same touch as you did previously. Seriously, pencils are driving me nuts today. gonna drive me nuts. Oh, goodness. Too much black, too much black, too much black. I think I'm just gonna have to kind of live with it. I mean, it's not bad. Okay. I'm just gonna accept it for what it is. Oh, thank you, Shay. I don't know if I'm gonna get it done today, but it's getting there. Me, I just started Home Before Dark by Riley Siegel, I think is the author. I'm hoping, why do I keep on doing that? I'm hoping it'll put me in a good Halloween mood for Saturday. And surprisingly, I'm only reading one book right now. Usually I have at least two going, but I don't know. Just one. Sagar, thank you. I knew it started with an S and it had a G and it ended with an R. I just kind of made the vowels up in between. Yeah, and I've heard good things about it too, but I think it depends on like what kind of scary thriller suspense you're looking for. And it sounded so much like the Netflix version of Haunting of Hill House that it intrigued me. But I'm not very far into it right now. I'm probably about maybe a fifth of the way through. I have not heard of any of those books, Shay. So it will be interesting to see your wrap up. I have absolutely no dexterity today as I fling the colored pencil across the desk. Okay, let's see if I can be less heavy-handed. This time around with the black. There we go. It's a little bit more in line with these guys. I don't know why I'm starting with the pumpkins in the crease of the page. I don't understand myself sometimes. But we're going with it. Nice. Those are very you reads, Shay. Those are very you. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I like watching your wrap-ups and stuff, because you read so differently than I do sometimes. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the peacock. I'm talking too much. I'm forgetting what I'm doing. Actually, no, I didn't want the peacock. I wanted the 6. I need to sharpen the 6. Because I'm doing the stem not with the black, but with the cool gray 6. And then I'll shade it a little bit with the black. Oh, yep. Yep, yep. Yep. I am excited for Rhythm of War 2. I'm hoping to do my reread of Oathbringer not this week, but next week, so that I am completely ready for it. Everything is fresh in my mind. Bring that black back out. Granted, I probably won't get my copy of Rhythm of War until, oh, who knows. Because I always have to get the UK versions, and so it always takes a while to get to me. So I have to make sure I don't get spoilers while I sit there and wait for the book to show up. Which is fine. I'm gonna try not to binge read Rhythm of War because, it's gonna be a chunky book, like most of them in the series. But I make no promises. I said that about, or I thought that about um, Oathbringer. And then I read that in a couple of days. Do I have any regrets about it? No. But I definitely do want to make it um, a thing that every time a new book in the Stormlight Archives comes out, I want to read all of the books leading up to the new book. So at some point, I'm going to have the first several books like almost completely memorized. Kind of like the Harry Potter books. And see, and that's the right way to do it, Shay, so that you can like absorb everything that is going on. I mean, to be fair, I read it over Christmas, and that was back when I was doing Christmas up in Wisconsin, and we were driving back and forth between Madison and Eau Claire, and so I had this like great big car ride, which isn't really huge. Well, getting up to Wisconsin is a long car ride, and then getting over from Madison to Eau Claire is about a couple hours. So I had like 12 or so hours in the car one way to just sit and read. And that's all I could do. And I think that's the only reason I read it as fast as I did. I don't know why I decided to bleed. Yep, and that's exactly why I was doing the reread, Shay. So like I want to have the story like sitting in my brain. I want to know where the characters are coming from. I don't want to have that like sort of vague notion of kind of remembering what happened in the previous books. Okay. I think I'm just going to do all of the pumpkins along the side, and then I'm probably going to call it for today, especially since I do have another live stream this afternoon with Shay, because we have our book club live stream that we are going to be doing, which it's going to be interesting. Because there's just, I'm not going to get the rest of this. So what I am probably going to do, since I'm not going to get this finished today, is I am going to set up a special live stream on the 31st so that I can sit down with you guys and just finish this off. I'm not sure what time of day that I'm going to do that yet. I want to do it before, if we get any trick-or-treaters. I don't want to be in the middle of a live stream if we start getting trick-or-treaters. So it'll probably be about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. So 1 o'clock my time. I'll definitely put a reminder out so that you guys can come and join me. And then I just might have 2 coloring streams next weekend. Smooth some of those out. So it will be interesting to see if we do get any trick-or-treaters, or if the city decides to put a stop to that. I haven't heard anything, so I'm assuming that we will probably get a few brave souls, but I could be wrong. It just might be me and Jeff eating all of the Halloween candy. That that does not surprise me at all, Shay. You always seem to have a good grasp on what is coming out. I want to do, of course I'm going to do my releases this week. But I honestly couldn't even tell you what's coming out next month except for Rhythm of War. I'd have to go and actually look at my list. Which I have not thought about all month. I have been trying to catch up on all of my ARC copies, at least my NetGalley ARC copies. I have some physical ARC copies that I really need to get to, which is kind of why I've stopped requesting books from NetGalley, because I need to catch up on that. So I think I only have 10 books left to read from NetGalley, which is saying something. since I've already reviewed like 60 books for them or something. The Witch and the Beast. I can handle a little gore as long as it's not like zombie gore, like zombies eating people gore, or medical gore. Those are the two gores that, for whatever reason, I can't. Jeff can attest to the fact because we watched Eli from Netflix last night. And it's probably so far of all of the horror movies that we have been watching on streaming services, it's probably one of the best that we've watched so far. But there's some medical things in that. So I was not looking at the screen for a chunk of that because I can't. Okay, I think I can handle that. I don't know what it is about medical or zombies. It's just those two things. Just nope. What I think it is because with the medical stuff, I can very much, I mean, that's stuff that happens like every day. That's not like a novelty or something like, oh, that's a nice piece of fiction, fantasy. So it becomes too real for me. And then I guess with zombies, something about the aspect of cannibalism. I can't. So once upon a time, I did read. Oh, what is that graphic novel? It's Jeff's favorite TV show. Why can't I think of the name? I don't know. But it was one of those zombie ones that everybody got into. I am just all over the place today. Oh, sure. Yeah. If you're willing to like send it my way, I will totally check it out, Shay. Yeah, The Walking Dead. I made the mistake of um I don't know. It was one of those things where a friend of mine had it and he let it stay at my house, and so I read it and sort of regretted. Okay, let's be honest. I skipped over a lot of the panels because just like nope. Just a big old nope. Which is really weird because I mean, I love a certain section of horror. And it's more of the paranormal side of horror. If you get too close to like human nature and humans and horror, I start to like I can't handle it. So there are a lot of horror that I'm just like, no. What's coming up on my channel as I do this little tiny little pumpkin down here, and I think there's a little bit of pumpkin up there that I can do too. Of course, I've got my releases on my radars coming up that I want to do. I'm probably going to do a full review over um, Home Before Dark, just because I want to get a bunch of like scary reviews up on my channel. At some point, I don't know why I've been avoiding it, but I've been avoiding organizing my bookshelves. I mean, the bookshelves on the main floor of the house have been organized and they're set up and they're good. It is the bookshelves that are in spare room, which is our spare bedroom where the guests come and stay, and the bookshelves down here that have no real organization to them. And I really, really need to do that. And of course, I want to step you guys through what I've been doing down here in my office / library / place I am now spending most of my life. Not that I'm complaining, so you guys can kind of see more than just the top of my desk or the small section of books behind me. So it is on my list of things to do. Yeah, I do. It's kind of interesting going in there every once in a while. Because I finally, we've been in this house for like a year, and I finally got the last of the moving boxes out of that room. And so now you can move around it, and the bookshelves are full. There's like 4 bookcases up there. But I just put things on those shelves, and they're a combination of like romance books, nonfiction books, children's books, and then I just have photo albums and some of my old journals, and then random pieces of craft things. So I need to figure out my life. At some point I need to do that. I need to become a person who is willing to take vacation days. I don't know what it is. I always feel like I need to hoard my vacation days. And so I have a stockpile of vacation days that I have not used. And I need to. Oh, it's all good, Shay. You go do you. I'm actually gonna end it here because we've been here for about an hour, 20 minutes. I don't think I'm gonna get any further than this. I need to go do some things myself. But yes, what I am gonna do, like I kind of mentioned before, we're gonna do a special stream to finish up this picture on Halloween. So I'm gonna set it up for Saturday the 31st at 1 p.m. Central. And then it's just gonna go for as long as it takes to finish this picture. My guess is it's gonna be about 2, maybe 2.5 hours, probably closer to 2. And then I'll probably go back to the Disney coloring page on the 1st. So I'll set up those 2 live streams. I very much appreciate all of you guys who came and joined me today. coloring this picture. I do hope that you guys can make it next weekend for one or both of the live streams. It's gonna be great. I'm super excited about Halloween. I Something about this time of year is just, it's my favorite. Usually when we don't have like 6 inches of snow, but you know what? I will take whatever I can get. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. I heart all of your beautiful faces. I hope to see you next time. Bye.